He's a mental health expert, a voice of hope and encouragement in our community, and a friend of the show. Dr. Gregg Jantz, welcome back to Spirit 105.3. How are you?
Erica and Steve, I am great, and I'm alive and well, but there's a lot going on right now.
There sure is. That's why we're glad you're here.
In fact, it seems like it's one thing after another, after another, after another, between the inflation and the division over all kinds of different things, the war in Ukraine, everything affecting everything else. And we've been talking about how it's easy to almost put up a defense mechanism by just letting yourself get numb. And it doesn't sound healthy. So what can we do to prevent that?
You know, it's so easy. After a while, it's like, and I kind of coined a term to describe this, anticipatory anxiety. Oof. We've been waiting because every day there's like something new, and we're anticipating bad things. And we're doom scrolling. We're looking, we're so accustomed. And the danger, and you said it so well, Steve, is that I grow kind of numb to what's going on. A couple things to think about. First of all, we've got to come together versus isolate. When we see all this anxiety and things get heavy and we grow numb, we tend to isolate more away from people. And so we've got to be coming together as Christ followers. And the other is we've got to be sure we're speaking God's word over ourselves and our loved ones, because fear can get a stronghold in our lives right now. And that's one of the dangers, and one of the things I'm seeing is this fear that can invade a person's life. Some of the things about fear. Fear lies to us. Fear is a tool of the enemy. Fear distorts reality. Fear, it freezes you from making decisions. And so, God's word has a lot to say about fear, but we need each other right now and to move away from fear and that anticipatory anxiety.
Wow, nobody puts it like you, Dr. Jantz. Fear is so real. We can feel it, we can sense it. But one thing I've been thinking about, especially since the latest tragedy in Chicago, is that hope is also real. How do you and I, at this time in history, grab a hold of hope?
Oh, hope. And I love hope because hope comes when we sense there's a plan. And this is right now, we have a generation of youth that are living in apathy. They don't have a hope for the future. There is no good plan. And here's the first step. I just think of Romans 12, verse 10, I think it is. But we're to be devoted to one another in love. Okay, we're to honor one another and never be lacking in zeal. So keep the zeal in there, even though, it's like, okay, God is at work. I mean, we also need to look at, okay, here's all the things happening, but how is God at work? And we've seen that in the last few weeks. God is at work. And so we're told to, be joyful in hope and be patient in affliction. And finally, to be faithful in prayer. So, okay, we're going to be joyful in hope. We can't see the future, but God's at work. And we know there's affliction, and a lot of us are feeling it. But we're going to be patient in that affliction. But we're going to be faithful in prayer. And, the other part of that verse talks about practicing hospitality. Okay, we need each other right now, and we need to be there for each other versus become self-absorbed. You know how you just get self-absorbed, everything going on, and being self-absorbed, it's hard to see the needs of others. So this is a time, it's an opportunity. Granted, it's a stressful time. I mean, let's deal with reality here, but God is at work.
I feel like we have a plan. That was so good. Thank you.
That is really good. Awesome. A lot of times it seems like the best way to trust that God has a plan is to look backwards and to see where he has come through and been faithful in the past and rehearse those things in your mind. Do you find that helps?
Yes, and one of the things that could help is start a gratitude journal if you're not doing one.
Yes.
Every day, write down 2 or 3 gratitudes, and you go, oh, that sounds silly. No, try it. Try it for 30 days. Because one of the things you'll begin to be able to reflect on is go back and look and go, whoa, I do see God has been at work, and he has been faithful. Because it's so easy to get absorbed by everything right now, and, what's the next bad thing that's going to happen? I get that. And I know it can create some despair sometimes, and sometimes we need somebody to throw us a life preserver and kind of pull us out of it because it's a rapid river that can suck you in, all that negativity.
Wow.
But try a gratitude journal. I got to tell you, my wife has done one much better than me for the last 9 years. 9 years of gratitudes. She's up to, it was 20,000 something. And I was joking with her. I go, how in the world do you do that? She says, I can see God at work. I just have to write it down.
Oh, wow. I mean, I've got my gratitude journal open here, and your name is at the top of the list. Dr. Gregg Jantz from the Center, A Place of Hope. We're so grateful for you.
Good to be with you today.